Once again, just getting set up. Today we are going to work on the actual investigation stuff. I haven't really figured out how I want to do it, but that is the next step. YouTube, why are you taking your sweet time? There we go. So, that brings us to all of these. What I need to do is, I think some of them I have to remake. But for the most part, okay. For the most part, I think I've got it kind of figured out. So, Lisa's body's the first one. Okay, we have not designed the beast yet. So we don't know what his will save is going to be. What are we going to make him? The Carrion golems could be 6. They'll be level 3 here. Do I make the beast a 5? Or 4? If I make the beast a 4... What would that make his... How do we detect sense motive again? So deception, isn't it? Well, the beast isn't very deceptive, but... Yeah, deception. The beast isn't naturally a liar. But he's going to get a kind of a passive. Instead of a Carrion golem, we're going with a flesh golem, I believe. Yeah. Sort of eternal creation. What 8 do they have for skills? Naturally, just athletics. No charisma, so not very good liars. But he's not trying to lie. Like, that's a big thing. He's not trying to lie. So how do we circle that wagon? Maybe earlier in the book they have some sense motives with him. I think they do. Huh. Let's see what the beast is naturally then. Ooh, skills, where is it? AC 4 hit points, special attacks, skills. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have it. Maybe during the trial? Okay, I think I get what they're trying to do. Or not trying to do, but what they're doing. The beast, as you notice, is the mere space master has apparent strength. Creature seems lethargic. He appears more than capable of resisting soldiers, but has left willingly. So at this level, the DC would be pretty low. We'll give him an untrained bonus just because of his appearance. So if he's a 4, no train, that'd be 14. Yeah, which was an easy DC at this level, so I'm good with that. Any others? Nope. Okay. So this is the first one. We got Elise's body. So this is all me at this point, because this is something I've created. Be right back. Okay. And of course, I left my mic lying down again. Really need a better set for my mic. Oh, my eyes. It's so dry today. So, this is going to be worth 1 VP, which is 1 victory point. 43 is total. Okay, so this one's broken. Of course. Okay, where we're going to refer to found Elise's body. Elise's body. Okay, let's see if ChatGPT can help me with this one. Upload a couple files. We want Trial the Beast. Upload another file. We want Rule of Fear. And I think we want the player core. Actually, where... I don't need the one for victory points. So maybe just player core. Where do I have that stored? P2E, player core 1. Let's add GM core in here too. Okay. didn't ask you for help right now. Don't need link, status, PC notes, description. Hello. Emplaced, which will be swamps. On the way to Leopard Stat. Let's do this. Will allow me to just, yeah. Okay, using the following and the documents. Help me describe what clues are found by the players upon finding Lisa's body. Include any potential skill checks that could assist in presenting and confirming this evidence when it proceeds to trial later. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, that's not what I'm asking. I'm not looking for the clues. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can redefine this. Okay, what do I have for Lisa's body? What about Lisa's body may prove that the beast of Leopard Stat did not kill her, and what skill checks would be used to prove this fact? There we go. That's what we want. Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay. I might have to make a second document for the story. I'll pull from this later. Trial. Present trial evidence. Temp. Collection. Okay, so we have Elise's body. Okay, at this point, they're still level 2. Don't want to do it that way. How do I want to do this? Because a part of me is thinking of having multiple checks that the players could use, each check having varying DCs based on the judge. They can't lie, so that's out. So they could use diplomacy. Diplomacy is always on the table. Deception and intimidation are never on the table. But presenting the medicine of this one, but having each judge have their own DC. I could just make diplomacy be a default, but if they use something like medicine, the DC is lower. That's an option. Let's see. considering having each judge value each piece of evidence differently, judge will have a each judge will be separated into an easy DC, a moderate DC, and a hard DC. Each piece of evidence will be weighted differently by each judge, and different skills will also be weighted differently. A success is only achieved if at least 2 out of the 3 judges agree. Using the Trial of the Beast document, in which all 3 judges are described, what 3 skills would be best used to present the evidence for Lisa's body, and how should each of 3 judges weight the different skills without having any to be the same DC? I don't think ChatGPT can do this. Okay, actually it's... Huh. It actually did exactly what I wanted. Shocking. No, it didn't. You know what? Let's just throw let's just throw spaghetti at the wall here. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to work. This would save a lot of time. If not, it'll just be a waste of time. Okay, it's those ones. Oh, the Hergstag ones. Ah. 15, 16. Okay, then that. Scroll down to the next day. Don't know if this will work, but 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. 22. Releases body. Appears to have been killed by a large spider. 23. The beast of leopards that went with the soldiers willingly. 24. Without resisting. Resist. The memories from the stone flask show memories from Ulsa and how she was the beast. Friend. 5. Whoops. Strange creature's body. The strange spider-like creature was injuries. Creature's injuries appear to have been inflicted by something large like the beast. Six. I forgot about the Leipzig University Auditorium. It's that University Auditorium has foot marks that match the beast. 7. The back door of the university was bashed open by someone large and strong. Okay. Create a similar skill chart for each judge using each piece of evidence presented above. Each piece of evidence has to be argued separately, and each will need their own section for skills and judge DCs. We'll see how this works. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, I'll do it manually. Actually, I'm liking how they're doing it right now instead. Can we just let it keep running? And we copy this action onto a Word document. To use. And this actually gives me a good idea. So what I'm going to do is each time you convince a judge, you get a point towards that judge. And you need to have over 50% for at least 2 of the judges. That's how I'm going to do it. I think that's the best way. Diplomacy will always be an option, but diplomacy will always be a harder check. Okay, we're going to copy all these. Yep, this is how I'm going to do it. Thank you, ChatGPT. Because not that I couldn't have come up with this myself, but I think mine was going to be overly complicated and was going to be too time consuming. This way I can give 3 skills, or 2, like using Speak with Dead, Diplomacy or Arcana. You don't... Or this would just be purely Diplomacy, you don't need anything else. So DC would be easy. Because I think once you start using this, it just makes sense to be easy. Isn't there a piece of evidence missing, though? This body, Beast brought back Elsa, Bleach file, Carrion skins, forced confession, Slav Carrion's window, Carl, auditorium. Oh, workshop. Crap. Can't have to add that. Okay. I have another clue to add. 28. Lapid Stat University. Window found to have been recently opened. Is that it? Is there anything else I want to add to this? 29. Beast found unconscious in the workshop. Resisted arrest and ran away into the swamps. Don't want even 30. What else can I add? No, I think that's good. I think this actually works out way better than I expected. So now I just have to go through every piece of evidence and actually do it properly. Spring Way, nope. Campaign. Book 2. Evidence list. Toss this here. Okay, new task. I should add what DC this is going to be presented with. Medicine or survival to present. Medicine, survival, or diplomacy to present evidence. There we go. Yeah, we're going to delete this one. Yeah, I don't know what's up with these. Okay, how... No, we're gonna go into here. What is it called in here? This is Hergstag, right? Okay, okay, once locked, it cannot be changed. Oh, maybe I can here. Actually, no, I'm fine. Let's do this. Okay, that works. Okay, this is Hergstag, so this would be 3? No. Do I order them chronologically? Yes. This will be 2. Which means this is 3. Trial of the Beast. Return of L. Says body. Herkstag. How? What evidence does the following provide to the players in regards to the guilt or innocence of the beast of Lepidstadt? Okay, where does it have that one? Would be up higher at Herkstag. Oh no, Herkstag is 4. Because Morass first. Probably giving them too much hand-holding. Okay. And this one is sense, motive, or diplomacy. How to do this one? Yep. Sense, motive, nope. What is sense, motive under? Yeah, it's perception. Yeah, sense, motive, or diplomacy. Oh, right. I'm gonna delete this. Close that for now. task. Fine. Or innocence. Lisa's body was found with a pair of large bite marks appearing fang-like. Still using some kind of injected substance. Otherwise, the body was left intact. Let's see if this presents it the same way, because if it does, golden. Taking it. Oh, it's totally doing it. Okay, we've got this now. This is going to be easy. Survival or diplomacy to present. This is gonna go so much quicker now. Swamps of rapid stat. 2- trial of the beast. Lisa's body. And the second one is one I want to get rid of. Yes. We can get rid of that. New task. Alright, good. I didn't seal it. So, okay, the kin is 2, Morass is 3, Hergstag is 4, Sanctuary is 5, Volksag and Grinds is 6. So 6 Trial of the Beast. No, this is Cellar. This is Sanctuary. Bleach. Vial from Vorkstag and Grinds. Sanctuary Cellar. Okay, day 3. Okay, so this one is different. Okay, we need to change this one. this one's different. So we need to go to story. We need to go to the return to Carl. Okay. Carl admits to knowing of Vorkstag and Grimes Chimic works. Okay. Grab the document again. Okay, status symbol, it'd be diplomacy or intimidation. We won't admit that diplomacy. Nobody's going to notice. And if they do, we will arrest them for treason. Whatever works. Okay. Establish a connection between the sanctuary. Implies an alternate culprit. Supports theory of manipulation. What's behind the crimes? Okay, we'll keep this. I should probably go over them and refine them, but I don't care. I really don't care if it gives them additional context. Again, we're going to do some serious hand-holding here. We're going to change this one. Oh no, you got this one. Oh. My shoulder's still killing me. I did my full workout today, and today's a new mesocycle, so all my weights are, or all my sets are reset, but my weights are a resumption of my former weights before my deload. And then I also have been doing daily 2K jogs, I guess you could say. 2 kilometers in about 6.5, 7 minutes on the elliptical. Alright. This one's done. Return else's body. And we're doing Carl's admissions. Okay. So I'm I'm very much on the sore side. Okay, we're good on here. Okay, I shouldn't have unlocked that one. This is 6. Trial of the Beast. How does it present in here? Okay, we're gonna have to deal with this one too. You know what? I should just be doing them in order. That's what I should be doing. Okay, so we're gonna change this. How do we deal with the university stuff? There's 3 university things. They're gonna be neutral, but I know how I'm gonna handle that. Okay, so 1, 1, 1. Location. University. Bold underline. Bold underline. Clue. Back door was broken into. Auditorium. Footprints. Window opened. And beast found unconscious. I believe those are the 4. Delete, shift cells up. Okay. Task. We're doing back door broken into. Back door. Okay. Bits at university. University back door. Broken open. I believe that's way down here. Back door, which is going to be athletics. Athletics. Perception. Diplomacy. Perception. Athletics. These ones will be in reverse because they have to convince that the beast may not have something to do with it, and they're gonna have a hard time with that. Players to try to mitigate this evidence, as their goal is to get an innocent verdict from the judges. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, I'm just gonna let them argue this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna let them argue these ones. It's they're gonna fail, and that's fine. It's just more of a funny thing. Um. Hmm. Okay, no, I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna. They may wish us to concede this point. Was found unconscious in the building. What does my phone want? Ooh, Tower of Tombs has a new video. I need to catch up on all my lore stuff. Really do. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we're doing it. This is funny. Depending on how they choose to frame it. Actually, we're gonna get rid of this. Actually, I don't think this is gonna work in its entirety. Purely argue the evidence of the door. The beast being found be argued later. I'm just gonna go description. Good luck. Yeah, I'll just be just a jerk about it. Okay, auditorium. 1 dash. Trial of the Beast. Large boot prints in the auditorium. Good luck. Just being a jerk about it. Diplomacy, survival, perception. It's that university. Okay, these two are done. Next is the window. Okay, we're gonna add another one. Found unconscious. Search yourselves down. Let's add another one. University. No evidence of the beast near the effigy. Trial of the beast. What do I want to call this one? Window found being recently opened. University of Rapid Stat. Good luck. Diplomacy, survival, perception. This one actually is something they could argue. I'm gonna have all these ones just be good luck, just to be an ass. The rest of them actually gonna do good quality stuff, but that one just gonna be an ass about. But I'm also gonna have lower DC for those ones. Trial of the Beast. No evidence. The effigy area around effigy shows no evidence of the beast's involvement. Diversity of leopard stat. Good luck. Technically, the elite stuff also doesn't matter. He's not being tried for that, but diplomacy, survival, perception. This is more for them, Elise's body stuff. So, and the last one, Trial of the Beast. Beast found unconscious in the workshop. Diversity of Lapid stat. Good luck. Diplomacy, survival, perception. Okay, you can delete this now. Okay, back to the kin. Because this one will immediately... The university one's already... We're going to have that one handled. Krell will handle that one. The kin will be there to establish the beast's habit. And I think I'll have lower DCs for that one. Simply because, let's be honest, they didn't investigate. Okay, Elise's body. Grind, Carrion. Stone Flax, Drink, Taking Vibrata. Observing the beast. Okay. 2 dash, trial of the beast. Observing the beast's capture. Swamps of lipid stat. What skills are we working with? Okay, sense motive diplomacy. Sense motive diplomacy. Okay. Sustain where Elise's body was found. Oh, I'm tired already. Okay, what did I call this one before? Yeah, Swamps of Habitat. Good. Emotional and moral reasons for being at the scene. Beast decision during near Elise's body and go with sword is willing may indicate emotional connection to Elise. Be framed as beast feeling sorrow or remorse over death. Okay, for killer. Possibly framing. I'm not reading these off verbatim just because I find that when I am, I'm taking a lot more time. So if people do have questions, they're more than welcome to ask some. But for now, I'm just trying to get this done. Go. Next, we want to do the stone flask. Do I have the stone flask in here? Strange creature. It does not look like something Elise would have had. Dropped it during the fight. Okay, items, world. Stone flask. We're gonna change this to Hergstag, the stone flask. So shift cells down. Just because it does have something to do with Elsa instead. Okay. Oh, we're going to close the stone flask. We'll go to strange creature's body instead. Oh, looks like we can handle this one. Okay, 2 dash strange creature's body. Swamps of Lebedstadt. Okay. Beast. We are going to do medicine survival. Survival. Diplomacy. The reason I'm having diplomacy there is just simply because you can always try to argue the point. But it'll always be better to show evidence. But if you just want to argue the point, you can. I think I gunk in my eye. Yeah, I do. Let's do this. Hopefully I can flush it out. And yes, I used a ton of eye drops. Literally. Okay, there we go. Okay. I gotta do this. I think I popped my contact again. Sorry, I'm gonna turn off the webcam real quick. Nobody needs to see this. Oh, something got in my eye. What is it? Can I see anything? Oh, something really did get in my eye. Ooh, there it is. What is that? Oh, it got inside my contact. Oh. Don't know what that was, but... really sucked. I popped it for a second. A bit of mucus got in when I scratched my eye earlier. Hard contacts suck for that reason. Okay. Like large beast. We'll see what ChatGPT comes up with it. Yeah, this really does hold their hands. The thing is, I don't actually have to share all this stuff to them if I don't want to. So, if they want to do it on their own and such like that, they can. So, it's just the nice thing about this is more about what I'm looking for than is necessarily about what they're going to do. So, where is it? Did I delete it? Oh no, I just edited it. Edited it. I feel like I'm having a stroke sometimes. Okay, well, we're halfway through our time, and I think we're making good time. Okay, we're on morass. Graves being robbed. The nice thing is, I think I've got it. Disturbed graves. Okay. 3 dash. Trial of the beast. How is it presented in the book? That is not what I'm looking for. The book. Six years must be being robbed. Robbed graves. Robbed graves. Okay, scroll up again. Okay, and in place. Morassed. Skills are going to be survival. Perception. Diplomacy. Oh, why am I getting messages on my phone? Oh. Heal versus Babyface. He is streaming. When I stream these, I mostly get people in the VODs, not in on stream anyway, so which is kind of the purpose. Violent act, suspicions based on previous attacks and morass. Okay, evidence for beast innocence. There's no concrete evidence. Alternative culprits with motive. I hate how it keeps referencing Vorkstag and Grinds, and I actually need to double check that. Lisa's body. Okay. Okay, I gotta do my other contact now. When I don't do both at the same time, it's weird. It's like my eyes need to have the same pH balance, otherwise I start feeling uncomfortable. Problem is, the more often I change out my contact liquid, the more my eyes get aggravated. So there we go. Okay. Do not include Vorkstag and Grinds in this evidence, as the players are not aware of them at this point. Okay, so here's a dilemma. I can handle this one of two ways moving forward. So here's the dilemma. The things I'm making right here, I'm making under the premise that they've completed everything, and this is their consolidation of evidence. It might be better to have a separate thing for them, accumulating the actual evidence. So I might have to do this in 2 steps. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. So this will be the evidence based on after they have everything. And I can't edit these. I'll have to cross that bridge later. Hmm. Yeah, this is now a mental dilemma I'm having. I just went brain dead over it too. My brain just completely shut down trying to figure this out because it's a conundrum of how I'm going to handle it. Mostly because FG doesn't let me edit these things. Not edit. Investigator section. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, I'm good with this for now. Like, I'm good with this for now. We'll keep going just because. Oh. Ooh. Okay, this is bad. This is very bad. Oh. Never mind. Alright. Not bad at all. I've already got this stuff in here. Trial of the Beast. Dark Vision. Elixir. Empty Dark Vision Elixir. Rest. Discussion medicine. Okay, we'll go Arcana. Send diplomacy. Whoops. Wrong one. Arcana, medicine, diplomacy. Okay, beast deck. Next section. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to think. Okay. Dark Vision Elixir is done. Okay, Lack of Cayman Bite Marks is the next one. Dash Trial of the Beast. The Beast lacks Cayman Bite Marks. Evidence from Rast. Medicine, Perception, Diplomacy. Perception, Diplomacy. With regards, what was this? Fully fried. Regards to the innocence. The Beast of Lepidstadt. Although the Beast was although it was claimed that the Beast was beaten by a blood Cayman, it has no scars for such an attack. Didn't know how I was gonna handle these things. Still not 100% sure that I'm happy with it, but may have to make some alternatives. Yeah, this will be here if the players want their hand held. If they don't, then the other. Okay, that is that one done. Detached face. All of the Beast. How do they describe it in the book? Poacher, then Keebin's face. Detached face. This will be the last one from Rast. Intimidation. Medicine. Diplomacy. Intimidation may not make a ton of sense, but... that sucks. Campaign drama. Maybe he's trying to get out of weekly games too. Oh, I'll let him respond. Might be losing a player, which always sucks. For our Saturday game. I'm not the DM, but I do like to put out fires for Master Stick when I can. Boom, boom, boom. Well, looks like our Saturday games are going to have some complications. So, what I'm doing right now is, one, trying to find a solution for a player that's about to quit one of our campaigns. What I'm actually doing is I'm inputting story data for a campaign that I'll be running after my current one is done. Specifically in the Investigator tab, which is completely irrelevant to the point. This part of the campaign is so I'm converting a Pathfinder First Edition adventure path not only into Second Edition, but I'm also changing aspects of it and expanding and contracting certain things. So I'm basically taking two First Edition APs, the Carrion Crown and Tyrant's Grasp. I'm merging them into a singular campaign and converting both of them into Second Edition. So what I'm doing right now is part of the campaign here is they're trying to collect evidence to exonerate a construct, basically Frankenstein. For all intensive purposes, Carrion Crown is Universal Monsters. So in this one is Frankenstein. They're trying to prove that Frankenstein didn't do a bunch of things he's being accused of. So right now I'm just working on all the various pieces of evidence they find during their quest, and creating a bunch of stuff for if they want to have their hand held. So they have I'm giving my players basically one of two options. Option one, which is what I'm doing right now, is I'll hold your hand. If you guys find the evidence, then I will give you this information dump so you guys can actually later on, when it comes to trial, argue on behalf of the beast without having to actually do any of the mental gymnastics and memory stuff and all that stuff that would be required. I have a trapdoor memory. I rarely forget anything. My players, on the other hand, can't keep their crap together on a good day. So this is option one. I basically they get the information, and once they're ready to go to trial, they can argue each point with all this information to argue each point. Then they make skill checks and such to decide who believes them and who doesn't, and so on and so forth. Option two that they might go for a little bit is they can decide, or they can keep their own notes, they can keep track of everything and try to keep everything together themselves, so that when they go to trial they can make their own arguments, and then I can just use these documents I'm making right now as my own personal reference to see if they're actually keeping on track with what it was. And if they start deviating off of the actual evidence because they personally, because something that a lot of players and DMs have trouble with understanding is your player, there's a divide between the player and the character. The character 100% of the time will be more intelligent, more capable, more everything than the player, because the character doesn't go days without going through the content. They don't have to be told what they see, they actually get to see. So you've got to have a little bit of leniency between what the player remembers and what the character would be able to remember. And the character is going to have a better memory than the player. So the point is to not punish the character because the player had to wait a week or 2 weeks, or in some cases multiple weeks between sessions. So I'm trying to give something that I can just share to the players if they need help remembering certain things or setting up their argument, because it's supposed to be fun, not tedious. And this section of the book can get very tedious if you don't have the best memory. So that's what I'm trying to set up now. It's not quite what I want, but it's as good as I'm going to get right now. I might set up a secondary one that is just the actual hard evidence if they want to go the second path and try to argue themselves. So right now this is just more of a data stuff rather than keeping it on Word documents or Excel sheets and stuff. I want to actually have it in Fantasy Grounds, so that I have access to it on here in one place rather than having to run around Excel sheets, because trust me, I have Excel sheets galore for this campaign. This is just one of my documents. I have Word documents, so I'm trying to consolidate everything I've been working on into this. So it's a bit of a pain. Uh, There, I've done what I can to try to help my DM with his campaign problem. One of the players in my campaign, they've got an elderly family member that they need to commit to on Saturdays. And we have another player who can't play on Sundays. So he can one of the family problems can play on Sundays, which is where my campaign runs. Can't play on Saturdays, where a friend of mine, my friend DM, runs his game. So I'm trying to see, can we move everything to Sundays and we'll just alternate our campaigns like we are already, just on the same day. But not going good. Yeah, player, you're pretending to be the character, but as a DM, you have to recognize that there is a disconnect between the two. So I don't like punishing my players because they forget something when it's obvious that their character would not. I know some DMs want you guys to, or want their players to constantly have stacks upon stacks of journals and notes and all that stuff. And by all means, if that's how you want to DM, if you and your players enjoy that process, by all means. It's I played in campaigns that do that. I do very well in them, because again, I have a very good memory. Not all players do, so I don't feel that my players should be punished. And we play for fun. Like, it's plain and simple. That's all we do. We just play for fun. Here we go. Okay, making the beast cry. Says motive or diplomacy. So these are the skill checks that I'm emphasizing for this one thing in order to give the players a role, because ultimately this is still a game of dice. Like, you can definitely give bonuses to your players if they remember things or good role play, and I absolutely believe in giving circumstance bonuses to players who actually play really well and go above and beyond, but it shouldn't tip the balance of the game. And it should benefit the whole party. It should never benefit just one player, because if you have that one player who constantly is good at that stuff, he or she shouldn't be getting all the rewards. The whole party should, but okay. But so why are you switching from D&D, if I might ask? I've heard lots of people switching over. I'm a former Dungeons & Dragons player myself. But everybody seems to have their own personal story on why they leave D&D ultimately. Where's that one? Go. Also, a big thing I'm doing right now is part of FGU. You can't edit these ones for some reason, so I have to reformat them, which kind of sucks. Because you can unlock, kind of, and you still can't edit. I don't know why. It seems to be a bug with FGU in the Investigator tab. Though the Investigator tab might be a mod, and that might be the problem. But, whatever. Let's see. Yeah. The character has to work in the campaign setting too, but yeah, I'm very lenient as well. But at the same time, second edition, just a warning, if you are DMing second edition, you do need to make sure that you do have a balanced party. Second edition is very unforgiving for parties that do not properly build. A cohesive group mean strong front line, strong casters, strong utility. If you're lacking any element, there's lots of YouTube videos on making complete parties. But yeah, second edition is very, very punishing for that. If people just go, oh, let's all make random things with no cohesion. And it kind of sucks. My current Age of Ashes campaign is kind of right into that. They've kind of improved over time, but... Beast... left Hergstag 2 days before Carrion died. And what skills do I want for this one? Okay, medicine doesn't work, so this will be diplomacy, just pure diplomacy. Okay. But pretty much once I'm done getting all these fixed up, then I'll be working on the trial itself, which I'm not sure how I'm going to work that one exactly. That will be a task most likely for tomorrow. Would be my guess based on the timeline and how things are taking me. But this is such a huge part of this book. So, I played a little bit of 4th edition. Not a ton. I actually liked elements of 4th edition. As a DM, at least. I didn't really play 4th edition as a player much. But as a DM, I liked it. I loved minions. Minions are like the one thing I wish I could convert into 1st edition. I've never played 5th. I own some of the books. Like when 5th edition first came out, I started buying the books and thought, oh, 5th edition is going to be what I get into. And then we never did. I stuck with 1st edition Pathfinder. So I left 3.5 for Pathfinder 1st edition a long time ago. I still like 3.5, but 1st edition Pathfinder was just better. And my number one reason why I made the switch is similar to your number 2 reason. I'm an old Magic the Gathering player. I started playing that one since I was 10. And I started playing AD&D, which back then was owned by TSR. And then when they got bought out by Wizards of the Coast, 3rd edition was a bit of a scam because they screwed that up so much and then came out with 3.5, which is kind of what they're doing with 5th edition right now, is making a new version within a version. It's part of the reason I'm kind of annoyed with Pathfinder 2nd edition. They switched to remaster. But you're not going to have to worry about that because you're coming into Pathfinder after the remaster. But 2nd edition still has an action economy. The difference between the two being they have a 3 action system. You can use those actions how you see fit within certain limitations. I feel like it opens up freedom a lot more than the old D&D system. But not being a 5th edition player myself, I can't really attest to anything. Like I can't speak on the differences too much beyond what I have personally heard. A good YouTuber, if you're looking for like rule stuff, is calls himself the Rules Lawyer. He's not bad at explaining things at all. So, but yeah, Wizards is, when Hasbro bought them, I think things were going downhill before Hasbro bought them, I guess. But yeah, I'm not happy with the way Wizards of the Coast is going. But now I just cannibalize AD&D. Like one of my homebrew-ish hybrid homebrews I'm going to be running will be a Planescape campaign at some point directly from AD&D. Converted into 2nd edition, and it will have a mixture of AD&D, not really adventure paths, but stories, combined with my own mixed in. I tend not to make 100% homebrew campaigns. I'm never going to claim to be a great writer. I've got good ideas, but I lean heavily onto AI these days in regards to actually doing my storytelling, because putting it from my brain onto paper, I am not as eloquent as I've found things like ChatGPT to be. My players love my ideas. I'm just very crappy at putting them out there. And since I just do it for fun, I'm not too concerned. If I were to make like a full homebrew and such, I'd have to do 100% myself if I was ever going to try and monetize that. I can't even remember why we switched from 1st edition to 2nd edition, though. I think we just wanted to try it. Or maybe it was me. I think I might have been the one screaming to the hills saying that we should switch. I think I was getting annoyed with 1st edition Pathfinder because once you hit like level 12 to 15, the game gets really boring because you're just so overpowered. 2nd edition, I feel, remains consistent at all times. Some people don't like that because then you kind of lose out on the power fantasy. Like being so OP. I'm fine with that. Oh yeah, I was a homebrew monster when I was younger. I thought that was the only way to go. But I was a little kid. I think I started writing my first campaign when I was like 11 or 12. And for the most part, people only join your campaigns at that age because nobody else wants to DM. So it's like, well, we want to play. This little kid wants to run the game. People generally had fun, I think. I don't think they hated it. I was not good, though. I improved as time went on, but I've never been a great DM. I'm very technical. That's pretty much the only thing I got for me. But my players like it. Thank you for the follow. But my players like my campaigns. That's really all that matters. Some of them love what I do, so whatever. Some hate. I've had a few people quit because of too much narrative is the complaint, but who knows. Show no sign of forced of damage from climbing. I like converting APs, though. That's kind of the thing I like doing the most. APs are written in a way that they're kind of... I don't want to say lazy. But they're written in such a way that they're... not very well fleshed out, in my opinion. So, I have the opportunity to take an AP... flesh them out a bit more, make them a bit more interesting, a bit more fun, make some changes how I want to make the story better. Like Carrion Crown, which is what I'm working on right now, is very much a horror campaign. As I was saying before, it's Universal Monsters. Every book kind of features a different monster. But it's not very horrifying. And it leans too heavily on combat later on. It starts out as literally you're investigating a haunted prison, and then like halfway through the book turns into combat. Second book, you're dealing with Frankenstein, but it's a lot of investigating, then turns into combat. And they all kind of do that. The next one's werewolves, and the next one's Cthulhu-esque stuff, which I'm going to be changing a lot of. And then it's vampires, and then it's... completely goes off the rails and has nothing to do with Universal Monsters. So, I'm changing it to be more consistent. I'm changing it to retain the same feel throughout the whole thing. And, yeah, that's the difference between me and them. Nothing wrong with homebrewing. If you want to learn the lore, it's useful. Golarion is interesting, but Golarion is also really well made in the sense that it leaves a lot open for a DM to homebrew within it. You can usually find a location for any story, which is really handy, depending on the setting of your campaign, which is really nice. So it just depends on how much you're homebrewing. Like, technically, because Golarion's not fully explored either, like, the only parts of the world that are discovered... Yeah, let's see if I can find... Okay, perfect. Here we go. So this is the world map of Golarion. And it's not even the entire world. Like, that's the really important part. This part here and half of this. So pretty much... don't have a program. So basically from about here down to about here, and then obviously from here all the way to about here are well-established sections of Golarion. Everything in here is pretty much nothing. Like, very little has been written about these areas. Almost nothing about this continent has been written. And then this is also a section that I think is like the second most written about. But everything from like here south, nothing. There's almost nothing written. Pretty much everything in here, almost nothing is written here. And technically, everything east of here and everything west of here, like, this is not a complete world map. We don't know what is west. Like, if you were to sail from here, it does not necessarily mean you'll end up over here. So we have no idea what's between here and what's between here. So this is not a globe map. This is just a section. So if Columbus were to sail from here, going here, he does not necessarily end up here. He could end up somewhere that we've never even heard of. Same as like south. Like, we don't know what is under here. Like, we don't know. So there's lots of room for a lot of stuff. Like, this section here does connect over here, but we don't know where else it goes. But yeah, so it's like this section here is kind of hinted at being South America-ish, with some African aspects. Like, this here is pretty much the Middle East. This here is like South America. Egypt is like in here. Europe is all in here. The Netherlands is up in here, but so is Russia. The Slavic regions all up here. Over in here is all Asian. Not necessarily Indian, but like China, Japan, Korea. Very Japanese, though. Very Japanese, Chinese up in here. Probably some Philippines influence and stuff like that. Greece and such, I think, are down in here. India influences are also here, but again, not super defined. Over here is, I don't even know what you consider this over here. Native American is up in here. Like, again, it's all influenced by. Like, there's not even like, Galarian is in many ways like every country on Earth it has influences on Galarian. That's kind of how they built it. So if you're trying to find a specific like real world influence, it exists. And it exists because Galarian actually has, so all in here, Osirian and stuff like that, our Egyptian gods were here first. Earth actually exists within the Pathfinder universe. 100% exists. So the Egyptian gods all left here and went to Earth and found a better foothold on Earth for a while, and then later on returned to Galarian once us here on Earth stopped worshipping them as much. So they came back to Galarian to recapture some of their power. Baba Yaga, for example, is someone that comes from Russian mythology. She actually exists, and she has influence on many different planets, Earth being one of them. And she has actually set up a kingdom up in here, specifically. I'm trying to think of other direct references to Earth that Galarian has. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. But Galarian also the Galarian that is within the lore today is kind of a delayed history. So the adventure paths that are being released are time delayed. So I think it's time delayed about 80 years. I want to say 80 years. So Galarian is 80 years in our past. Something like that. I'd have to do the exact math. There's an AP that was released, I want to say about 10 years ago, called Reign of Winter. And it took place during World War II. So that'd be... No, World War I. So it might be 100 years. Yeah, it's 80 to 100 years. So all of Golarion that's happening in the adventure paths are effectively told as if it was happened 80 years ago. And I think they did it in part so they could incorporate actual Earth-based stuff into it, which is kind of interesting, in my opinion. But yeah, depending on what kind of atmosphere you want, you could easily inject your homebrew stuff into one of the various countries and steal from that region's stuff to kind of prop up your own. Pretty easily. It's kind of nice that Pathfinder has so much, but it really comes down to what you're wanting to do. But again, Golarion also has it wide open for other planets. There are other planets that you can actually travel to on Golarion. There's a planet where the elves came from, for example. So yeah, there's lots of wiggle room within Golarion. You could run it in the near future of Golarion, or the past of Golarion, or a different planet within the Golarion solar system. Or on a continent that hasn't been explored, because guess what? If Paizo's not going to tell you what's there, why can't you? And that's kind of why these places have not been completely fleshed out, is to allow players to kind of create their home brews on Golarion, take things from Golarion, and that's that. It's for example, my Pathfinder campaign that I intend on running, or not Pathfinder, Planescape campaign that I plan on running in the future is going to pluck people from Golarion into the D&D Planescape universe. Why? Because there's no reason they can't exist side by side. That's just one of those things about how the Pathfinder universe works, is that it acknowledges that other universes exist in conjunction with the Golarion universe. And there's no reason why you can't run a Pathfinder campaign in a completely unique setting. And you could even pluck people, like how my Planescape campaigns get started is a group of adventurers on Golarion go into a cave chasing after goblins, because you gotta have the stereotypical starting point. And they go into a cave after defeating the goblins, go get the treasure, and as they're leaving the cave, one of the treasure pieces opens a gate, a portal to Sigil, because that's the key. Which is why the treasure's still there, why the goblins haven't touched it, because every adventure, the goblins know, don't go in that room, don't take the treasure, because if you take the treasure, you disappear. So the goblins will put treasure into the room, but they won't take the treasure out of the room, because they know already that if they leave the room with the treasure, they disappear forever. But it's a safe place to keep the treasure, because goblins are dumb like that. So they keep hoarding their treasure in that room and never take it out. So the player, every adventurer that goes in to take it out, ends up dying, or at least disappearing. And that's how they get teleported to Sigil. And that's where their story begins. So, and that's just it. You can do anything that you want. You're the DM in the end. And you already know this. But as long as you tell your players that, hey, yeah, as long as you tell your players, hey, this is a homebrew, but I'm pulling elements from Golarion, then your players are prepared. You can do whatever the heck you want. To be fair, that's kind of the story for the D&D cartoon too. Just instead of people from Earth being dragged into a D&D universe, I'm just taking players from Golarion and putting them into a D&D universe. But in actuality, I'm basically going to be taking Planescape and redesigning elements to be Galarian in many ways. Because I'm really not going to bother redoing all the gods and such. Because that's just too much work. It would be really, really too much work. But yeah, no, Galarian has so much that's undiscovered that you can basically do what you want without having to feel guilty about stealing elements. Galarian, I actually think, pulls from our world a lot more than D&D does, but at the same time opens the door for a lot of fantasy elements. Like Numeria is a good example. If you want future tech in your campaign, well, have it influenced by Numeria or something similar to that, because Numeria actually had a spaceship land in it, and now it has energy weapons like lightsabers and laser blasters and androids and robots. So it depends on how fantastical you want to go. If you want to go completely bonkers, run the campaign in a place like the Feywild, where literally the world is what your mind makes it. In a lot of ways. If you want something very, very dark, a world literally trapped in darkness, you could have in the Shadowlands. If you want to just make something completely different, again, you could literally pluck characters from Galarian. So have your characters start in an established area of Galarian, and like I just said, with what my plan for the Goblin thing is, have them get teleported or transported to wherever you want them to be. Your own homebrew world. And when they level up and stuff, rename shit. Like, rename it how you want, or have these characters be the first. Like, if... That's what I love about fantasy, is just, you can do what you want. The only reason why I say is establishing your characters initially in Galarian is obviously not a requirement, but makes it a little bit easier to explain why. Like, I guess it depends on what limits you want to put on your characters too. Like, it may not matter. If your characters don't care about having a continuity and having an established order of things, then it doesn't really matter. My players like to have... Oh, no, it's not my players. I like to have structures. I have OCPD, so I'm very structured. I need answers for everything. So I would have to have an excuse to tie my characters and why. So an inventor would still be from Alkenstar, or my inventor would still be from somewhere in Galarian. And even though I'm transported into another world, say your world, my headcanon would require my character to then be, okay, I am a inventor from Alkenstar, or I'm an inventor from this place in Galarian, but my new skills and abilities that I create as I level up, my new class abilities, my new whatever, I'm pulling from not only Galarian, but now I'm merging it with your world. And I would have to level up my character under the idea of I'm pulling from my experiences of my past. If the new class feed I want doesn't work with the experiences of running your campaign, I'd be pulling them from my past, or I'd be taking inspiration from what my character has experienced in your game to justify why I'm taking that class ability. Because in my headcanon, I need that, even if you as a DM don't care. and are just perfectly fine. Well, you've already acknowledged this is homebrew, therefore you make your character how you want, just play it within my world. I still need personally the headcanon that it has to be pulled from something more tangible. But that's just me as a player. I'm a pain in the ass as a player. I very much do not make overpowered characters. I make fun characters. For me. That can get really annoying for DMs at times. This will just be diplomacy. I am a pain in the ass. And I'm intentionally a pain in the ass. But I'm more of a pain in the ass to me because I need those things for my character to work. And I'm more of a pain in the ass because I constantly am seeking my DM's help in justifying my own arguments sometimes. But really the only DM I play under these days is my best friend, so he understands my my need for justification. Like, my current character is garbage. Like, so I run a campaign every second Sunday, and I play in a campaign every second Saturday. My character that I play every second Saturday is absolutely trash at combat. He might get better later on, but he's a skill monkey, and he is an investigator. So he's designed... He's intentionally designed to circumvent or force my DM into explaining more than the DM may not want to divulge at any given time, because it's literally designed around investigating deep into stuff. So, and because he's running an adventure path, my character requires my DM to actually look ahead in the books to make sure that he's not forgetting things, or so he can give my character the information that my character needs to function, which can get annoying for an adventure path. And part of the reason why I'm running this campaign, which is based on adventure path, the way I'm going to be, is that I already know that as punishment for what I'm doing in my friend's campaign, one of my players who's also in that campaign is going to be playing an investigator in my campaign. So part of the reason I picked to play an investigator in my friend's campaign is because I need to know how that class works and what I need to be prepared for when my player is going to be doing the same thing that I'm doing to my current DM. Because investigators are a lot of work for a DM. They really are. What is that spell? Talking Dead? Oh, please tell me it's not called Talking Dead, because that'd just be silly. Okay. So, quite literally, my brain's struggling to remember a word as I'm trying to multitask. Oh, that's what it's called. So yours is quite literally, your players can do what they want and be what they want, obviously within reason, as their backstory. So, yeah, that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. See, even with players in my campaign, there's a lot. I definitely allow them to have a lot of leeway in that regard. Because there needs to be. Your players need to be allowed to be creative. And a lot of the time, my players will come to me with a backstory that they want. Oh, it's a talking corpse. I do a lot to help my players work what they want into their characters. Because I do a lot of lore stuff, like couple channels, Tower of Tombs. Actually, here, let's do this. If you want good lore, I will actually link you some, if you're interested. The lore channels I go to, you can actually see who I follow. Mythkeeper, I'll actually link them in Twitch if you want them. Black Dragon's not as good as he used to be. Venture captains are not so great anymore, but here. The number one channel I would say is Mythkeeper. If you want, okay, let's go to Twitch instead. This guy's probably number one. Because he covers a lot of things. He covers it more from a technical aspect. Like straight from the book stuff. Venture captains are fantastic. But they don't create content anymore. If I remember right. But what they do have is awesome. So if you are looking for something specific, these guys were great. But he stopped making stuff, unfortunately. They just weren't getting enough support. This guy, I think, still makes content. Yeah, his content, Sir Vertigo, is very, very rough. And he gets some things a little bit wrong now and again, but he's got some passion, and you might find stuff that you won't find elsewhere. These guys, Tower of Tomes. So, where Mythkeeper is fantastic for having more technical stuff, and kind of straight from the book stuff and things like that, Tower of Tombs is better if you want the lore presented to you as a storyteller. So, Mythkeeper tells you the lore. Tower Tombs has you experience the lore. They present it as a story. So if you need something that is presented to you more as in that capacity, because you don't want the dry stuff, which Mythkeeper is more dry, Tower Tombs is fantastic storytelling. Lore Tour, again, same thing. Told more as a story. But good stuff. I'd still say Mythkeeper and Tower Tombs are probably equal in my mind, and Lore Tour as well. But Lore Tour doesn't cover a lot of stuff. I would say Lore Tour is better if you're specifically running a campaign in those areas. So his starts out in Absalom, and then he progresses into other places. And Lore Tour, like I said, is very good if you want your stuff presented to you as lore. Mythkeeper is just good if you want stuff straight from the book without actually having to go through all the books. So those would be my suggestions if you're looking for lore. Venture Captains were great when they ran stuff, so if you're looking specifically for the stuff that Venture Captains has, it's great. But they don't continue any more stuff. Black Dragon Gaming used to be great. I won't bother linking him because he mostly does paid campaigns now. So where he used to do a lot of lore stuff, now he doesn't. Now he just runs content for money. Which is fine, but I don't necessarily like his community. That's a personal thing, but I would say I'd say Mythkeeper, Venture Captain, or Mythkeeper, Tower of Tomes, and the Lore Tour would be my top 3. Negative reaction to the crowd. Okay, I need to decide if I want this. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of this part. So, yeah, Tower Tombs and Mythkeeper are my top 2. The Lore Tour is starting to produce a lot more stuff. That is still really good. I'm gonna have to go over these and decide if I want to keep them as is. I think I might end my stream here soon and do this stuff tomorrow. I want to do Stone Flask. I'll end after the Stone Flask. I need to go eat some food. Because I stream again at 5 my time, so in about 2 hours I stream again, but I don't stream Pathfinder, I stream. It'll be my first Final Fantasy 14 stream after coming back to it. So. But I think this will be good. Elsa's memories from the Stone Flask. So, Fantasy Grounds is a... well, yeah. So you have a couple options. I hate to say it, but as much as I love Fantasy Grounds, not everybody does. This is my preference, but it's a virtual tabletop. You can play for free, but if you're going to run a game, you have to pay for the program. And it's not necessarily cheap. You can either buy the license for $50 or $10 a month. I prefer the $50 because most campaigns are going to take more than 5 months. So I think the license is better. But if you have the Ultimate license, your players can play with you for free. If you can only get the core license, your players also have to have the core license, I believe. Yeah, free demo or core license players. So if you have it, your players don't have to pay for it. Where if you only have the core license, your players also have to have the core license. Which is this program that lets your players play with you. A lot of people, though, run on what's called Foundry. Here, actually, I will do this. Foundry is probably the more popular one for players. Are you going to load for me? No? Yeah, he doesn't have the game up right now, so I can't really show. Foundry is a more popular one for 2nd edition. I don't know what it costs, but again, players can play in your campaign for free. But I've spent a lot of money for Fantasy Grounds, and I find Fantasy Grounds is, if you have the money, Fantasy Grounds, I think, might be better because you're not reliant on you're not reliant on other people doing the work, I guess is the best way of putting it. Like, you're not as reliant on finding modders to do the work for you. Where in Fantasy Grounds, you can buy all the content. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just have a preference for Fantasy Grounds because I've already invested a lot of money into it. So I have a bias simply because of that. But I'm not going to say it's better. It's better at some things than others. But yeah, Foundry and Fantasy Grounds are... Okay, I used to use Roll20. I don't use it anymore for the same reason I don't play D&D 5th edition. I have some personal bias against the guy who owns Roll20. He said some pretty garbage things over the years, in my opinion. So that's why I don't use Roll20 anymore. I also find Roll20 was good. But yeah, I find Fantasy Grounds to be much better. But again, you're paying for it. You're paying for what Fantasy Grounds can give you. Where Foundry and Roll20 are more free-based, which means you have to put more work into finding things. But they have their perks. Roll20 has perks that Foundry doesn't have, that then Fantasy Grounds doesn't have. They all have their things they're strong at. Fantasy Grounds, I just find, comes out with more stuff more often. Again, if you have the money, Fantasy Grounds will give you more. If you don't have the money, then that's where Foundry and Roll20 will give you more if you have less, I guess is the best way to put it. So I'm new to Foundry. I used Roll20 for probably 5 or 6 campaigns I ran. I'm only in my first campaign playing in Foundry. I've run and played in probably 6 or 7 campaigns using Fantasy Grounds. So a lot of it just comes down to your own personal comfort. So I can't really say what's the best, because my bias would be there. So just want to get this last thing done, and then I think I'm going to call the stream. So I can go eat some food and prepare for my next one. But I'll be back at this again tomorrow at the same time as I do now. Well, actually, it's not bad. I'll almost be done right at 3. Oh, I'm really hungry. Yeah, I'm sweating up a storm for some reason. Yeah, no problem. That's why I'm actually doing what I'm doing. Like, sure, running the stream shows Fantasy Grounds and shows how I'm building a campaign, and some people who are getting maybe new into DMing might have questions in regards to that, or new into FGU. But mostly I just stream it just to have these conversations for people who want to have the conversations. Be it about Pathfinder itself or the program, or just want to shoot the shit on DMing and contrasting ways of doing it. So if I can help anybody with any of those aspects, then that's exactly why I do it. And there's been people who've come in who have given me new ideas on how to do things, because maybe they'll see something I'm doing, go, have you thought about doing this? But this is one of those sessions where I'm not really doing anything super complicated, I guess. Once I'm done the trial, I'll get back into more dungeony stuff, so it'll be more interesting. This is just more a matter of bookkeeping, I guess. Okay, we will call that there. Got a lot more to do, but I need some time to do it. Well, thank you very much for chatting with me today, and for anybody who's watching this in the VOD, the usual stuff applies. And I will be back at this tomorrow. Have yourselves a good day.